Greetings, Terraform comrades, and welcome back to Automation Week. This week we're trying out 5 different automation games, and today we have the pleasure of trying out Plan B Terraform. I reached out to the devs to get a full review copy, and I got one, so thank you so much. And we can play the early access version instead of the demo, so that's lovely. Let's go ahead and press play and get a first impression of the game. Ooh, we get to name the planet Dorn. Let's just see. Is the name used? Oh, the name is part of the seed. Oh, not Onan. Alright, well, the world is going to be called Lelo. We're going to go with everything on default, and we are going to confirm. The loading is pretty decent. A lot of these games tend to need a little while to generate the world, so this has been pretty good. You have been mandated to manage the resources of this newly discovered planet. You must bring supplies to the city. Oh, well, we're going in. Oh, I love it already. That's very fun. Welcome to Lelo 412F. Let's start by creating new extractors. Oh my goodness. Okay, so how to play. Move the view like that. Sure, thank you. Zoom in and out. Whoa, these are very sensitive. Let's see if we can take the sensitivity off a little bit. Don't see. Oh, mouse wheel sensitivity, perhaps. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. And we'll just have to deal with the rest. All right. So that's the movement. Select a building in the build bar, then place it on the ground. Use this button to delete things. Okay. I like the minimalist icon designs. Where do we place these extractors? Do we have to place them over specific things? Let's pause the game. Logistics. Extractors collect minerals from the ground and store them in a container. Depots store and transport resource containers from to adjacent hexagons. Factories transform containers of one resource type into containers of another resource type. Assembly plants create final products. And you can scale up, of course. Global info. So we have the objective at the top. We have the planet name and total population. Temperature. That's good to know. Toggle this info panel. So that turns the panel back on. Mini-map, enhanced view. Jump to the next warning. And there's the mini-map. Wonderful. So these 3 new locations that we control. Hello. Interesting. All right. So we're in New Alexandria. Can we rename it? Oh, we can rename it. Okay. We'll keep it New Alexandria. Okay. So how do I place this thing? Extract minerals from the ground. Are there just no minerals? Must we locate? Oh, there we go. Minerals. Do you have a quest for me? Is it just guess? All right, so there's 2 different minerals adjacent to each other. So let's just start here. What is the mineral? Iron and sulfur. Well, sulfur seems a little bit more advanced, doesn't it? So depot. Is this what I'm imagining is going to happen now? Okay. Factory and assembly plant. All right, let's see what the factory can do. Ooh, excuse me. Steel bar. Okay, we can make steel bars from the iron. And then how do you chain this? Like this? Choose item, steel bar. And then this. You can make more extractors from the steel bars. And if I understand correctly, these will not be collected. Let's take a look. Let's speed up the game a little. Oh, we cannot speed up the game. What is the button? F. Okay. The F key speed up stuff. So steel bars go over there. And you are not getting collected, right? Have we seen any of them get collected? No. Okay, so let's slow the game down. How do you pause? Spacebar. Okay. So, that is a little bit unfortunate. But wait, maybe we can just make a chain. Right? That was what they suggested we do earlier. Now, how do I make, instead of an extractor, I want to make a depot. There we go. I think that's good. I think there's something happening here. So now we get to make that depot. There it goes. It's being created. How are we gonna go about this? Do we just send a thing through the middle? Guess we'll find out. I do like automation games a lot. I think they're really good. Yesterday we played one that was a very different vibe to this one, which is, it was set in, it was like an alchemy game. So it was like satisfactory. So you played it in first person, you were building a factory. It was very interesting. All right, there we go. Oh, oops. Iron ore, please. There we go. So now these are delivering this iron ore over there, which is hopefully going to go over there and get turned into the right thing. Or, if we need more steel bars, we could always... Can you move these? Can things be moved? Cut selection. Okay, so that does mean you can just move things. Wonderful. There we go. So now we have some sort of some sort of path. Let's see what we can make out of this stuff. So we'll have a factory. Oh, we can only make steel bars at the moment. Never mind. Can I just delete you? And you're back. Okay, wonderful. So I was saying this in the other video as well. I always like a game like this that comes with basically perfect undoing. So 100% refunding on undoing, because I think in games like these, the challenge is often in just like playing around with the way that you set up your chain. And especially early on, the refunds being super punishing means that you're not gonna experiment as much. And that really stunts your development later into the game. So having a full 100% refund actually allows the player to take a very active role in experimenting without being punished for doing so, which I think is the superior way of doing it. Oh, there we go. Okay, build extractors on iron ore deposits. Transform iron ore. Build new extractors. All right, so we should switch to extractors. And then once we have more extractors, we can extract more iron ore. We can make more extractors faster. But for now, let's speed up the game. Oh, we don't know the next quest. All right. Is there progress being made? Lovely. All right. I do wonder, is there something more akin to a conveyor belt, or do we just basically recreate the idea of a conveyor belt with these? I wonder what the best way of interweaving this would be to make sure that everything can be extracted. We could go like this and like that. Perhaps the most... Oh, level complete. Good start. Now you can build new factories. Oh, Jesus. Use the factory to transform steel bar into mechanical parts. Okay. So we've unlocked... Okay, steel bar into mechanical parts. So we want to disable these. Excuse me. We take the factory. We make mechanical parts. And then what do you want? Produce 5 factories. Okay, so we're gonna make another one of these. You're gonna take mechanical parts. You're gonna put them in here. And you're gonna make factories. I wonder if we can speed this up. We have made extra extractors. Also, we could probably shut these down. We don't need those. We can put even more extractors down. Yeah, let's just move that. Now we're gonna have such a huge income of ore, but we might not be able to convert it all. So let's take a look at how this shakes out. Oh, look at them go. That's very satisfying. I do find games like this extremely satisfying. One thing that I'm going to check out while this is happening is if this game has multiplayer planned, if we can detect any of that in the Steam page. But we've completed the mission. Our scientific team has developed a way to produce concrete from the sulfur regolith around here. Your cities will need this concrete to grow. Awesome. So, while this was being done, I also looked something up, and it does seem that multiplayer is not planned for this game. Alright, so we have a lot of sulfur. Let's see. Build a supply center in contact with a city. Bring it the resources it requires so the city grows. Ooh, okay, this is interesting. So now we're talking converting this sulfur into concrete. Trucks. You can add or remove trucks. Roads. Are we bringing this by hand? Supply center in contact with the city. Truck, road, supply center. Alright, so we need loads of concrete. We're gonna need an assembly plant to turn some of this concrete into a thing. Oh. Alright, we do have an issue. And that issue is that we're not assembling stuff anymore. We should make a depot. It gets pretty convoluted, I guess. That's fun. Alright, so you're making concrete. We're gonna wait a little bit to grab another depot. There it is. Thank you for the depot. Gonna store the concrete. And then you're gonna have to tell me assembly plant. Alright. One assembly plant is going to be making this supply center. We're probably also going to need to start assembling some... How many factories do we have? We have 11 factories. We could change this to an assembly plant. And just let them run for a bit. Okay, we've made 3 supply centers. We're going to change this from a supply center to road. So we can start working on a lot of roads. And we've also added some depots. And we are making some extractors so that we can actually start making more concrete. And yeah, I don't know what the best strategy is here for the gathering. I'm sort of thinking we just maybe go around. Maybe this is not the best position for this. Oh, you know what? Especially if it needs to get to New Alexandria. Maybe, just maybe, we can actually just do a little bit of a move. What's the button? Backspace. All right. Because this is free, right? So if it's free, I'm gonna move them here. Wonder what the best placement is. We'll do it like this. And then factory of concrete. And then a little in-betweener. You put the concrete in. And then this assembly plant makes the roads. Now, what do we need in order to make trucks? Mechanical parts. Perfect. How many? Okay, we have loads of assembly plants, so we can switch this after this one's done, because I don't know if it wastes the resources. Oh. Okay. Switch you to truck, so you can start working on some trucks. Let's see, what are we now low on? I definitely feel like we should include some more. How many extractors do we have? Not many. And we don't really have a surplus of iron yet. One would think that it would be easier to overwhelm the capacity. But it doesn't seem to be the case. But, in any case, if we just continue through here, we can kind of grab as much iron as possible. Maybe we just go like this here, and then we could have another one on the outer layer there. I don't know how much... Oh, okay, we have an amount. We have an amount. Amount confirmed. Let's see if this is enough. And if not, we can always go forward and add more of these mines. Okay, how are y'all doing? The road is slowly being cooked. We have some trucks. So, are you telling me supply cities with resources they need to grow? So do we put that here or there? Let's take a look at the city supply again. Okay, so you build a supply center adjacent to a city hexagon. And it will show you what the city needs. Just concrete. And... oh, what does that mean? Okay. You bring the supplies how? Straight through. That seems to be a depot in between. City status. Stable, decreasing, or growing. Okay. So we have to bring this there. We need to build a road. The road is presumably going to take quite a lot. I don't know why they were so stingy with giving us the resources early on. I guess I just got an unlucky roll. New Mumbai seems to be near some stuff. Maybe New Mumbai could benefit from a much closer situation. But we're here now. New Alexandria. Perfect name. Hold on. It was before our eyes the entire time. Leloxandria. New Alexandria. They've named it after us after they noticed that we're actually going to deliver some stuff. Okay, so this is going to be concrete. And then let's see how far this road gets us. Okay, about halfway for now. That's great. We can just wait a little bit. Oh, I don't like that they've made this turn for us. So I'm just going to undo that. Can I undo that? Okay, undo doesn't work. That's cute. Very cute. Very cute and fun. Why are you turning? Okay. Gonna go like that. Oh, we've gone too high up, but it's fine. Let's take a look at what's happening over here. Okay, so now we're finally overpiling some iron, which means we could potentially add another factory. Yes, I will do it like this. Add another factory that creates steel bars. And then we want... How many extractors do we have? Okay. Let's wait for this extractor to come out. There it is. And then we are going to change this to depot. And while that depot is cooking, we're already going to prep an assembly plant here to actually also make more depots. I feel like depots are also highly sought after. At least I am seeking after them. Maybe once this is on the right amount of stuff, we can look around. How many trucks do you think we need? We shall find out. We shall find out. I feel like we should just be making more trucks. I think the number of trucks that we will need is gonna end up being pretty big. Okay, let's get that cooked. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I think it did figure out what we needed from it. Look at that. Double the steel bar, double the depot production. So now the depots are gonna start to come in. And let's just do a little time skip until we have enough to make this road connect. And there we have it. Okay, so let's put this in there. Say concrete. Will they unload it? Okay, no. All right, we're gonna figure this out. Okay, so I think we just select the truck and maybe do this. Number of vehicles, 10. Let's see if anything happens. I feel like we still need to, oh no, wait. Oh, oops. We need to deliver the concrete, which is over there. Oh, that's fine actually, because we can do one of these, right? Will you take the concrete over for me? Okay, I mean, this is a little bit silly. We could just extend the road. And then we can change the origin to here. And we could just delete these. Sure, that makes the road a little bit silly, but it's fine. Okay, our first concrete is arriving into the city. Is that what we needed to do? Oh no, reach a new bigger population. Okay. Let's see what they're doing over here. Oh, they are fulfilling their supply. Supply demand is 10. Do we need to make more concrete? More concrete. All right, I think we have a good amount of depots and diggers. Actually, before we go into deeper concrete, I am going to extend this production. I am wondering, would it be smarter to just have the road surrounding this and have trucks deliver everything around it? We'll take a look at that. But first, let's see what's happening in New Alexandria. It turned green. Okay, the supply is satisfactory and we got a new population person. Wonderful. Okay, that's neat. Right, let's try to redecorate here and see if we can perhaps really minimize the amount of these depots that we need. Let's just do a little experiment. Okay, couple things learned. So you can only place one start and destination on a specific place. You cannot build like overlap destinations. So that's the first problem. The second is they are very effective at taking things over a long distance pretty speedily. But again, they're only limited to one location. And you basically have to still get all of the resources you need to the same pickup spot. So again, you can see that these are not getting delivered anywhere. So I think maybe I need a little bit of practice to figure out exactly how I want this. For now, let's jump back to New Alexandria because it's growing. Oh, look at these. It's about to hit 20 people, so that's going to be nice. As soon as it does, the zoom is still very, very sensitive. But I have a pretty good idea of how to make some of the stuff now. I actually have somewhat of a concept of what I'd want to do here, but let's take a look at the next level. To grow further, the cities will need oxygen. That does need to be included. So let's figure out how we make it. Oh my goodness. So we can make carbon, oxygen, okay, so we're gonna need to make aluminum bars out of aluminum ore, deliver them together with mechanical parts in order to create atmospheric extractors, which can then produce oxygen. Landmark tower. Display a custom text in the main view. Use it to locate your various... Oh, that's cute. I like that. Multi-selection. Make a selection. You can also double click. So with shift, you can add things. Why did that put us in the middle? All right, I'm just going to read up on this and tell you if there's anything important in here because there's a lot of chapters. Cool, so we can click on a number when selecting a building. How do we do that? It says, when a building button is selected, click on the number in order to set a maximum number. That's not doing the trick. Ah, there we go. There we go. Okay, so we can say production limit of these 50. Production limit of roads 200. We want 1,000,000 roads actually. 400. Trucks. Oh, I want so many trucks. These can be maxed at 20 and these can be maxed at 20. Lovely. These can be maxed. I mean, honestly, the mines at 50. These extractors at 10. These at 10. And these at 10. Wonderful. Okay, we have a plan. Cool, so that was the first thingy in the help. When a building button is selected, click on the star in order to add or remove from the favorite category. I like that. You can use the middle mouse button to copy paste the building under your cursor. That is very handy. Does it say anything else? Keep its properties as well. Okay, that's wonderful. Click on hold a building to drag and drop. Wait, just any building could just be... Oh. Okay, I'm not seeing that. The selection box we've seen. Left control C to copy. Oh, okay. Hold left control to build on the neighbors too. So, oh, interesting. Okay. Control Z to undo. Shift Z to redo. Okay, cool. Thank you for all of those tips. let's try and get a little smarter here. I'm gonna do a little skip, and when we come back to this, hopefully it's gonna be ordered in a slightly smarter fashion. Okay, so this is what I've created. Is it smart? We don't know, but it does seem to be effective. Although I'm detecting a little bit of a bottleneck here on the outside. So I wonder if I could actually connect it like this to create 2 exit paths for this central line. And that might resolve the bottleneck. Although there's a little bit on the top as well, but I think that one's lesser. Plus this might actually be a more important artery. If we double the amount of these here, does it essentially double the traffic? Well, for now, let's just let it flow. It did take me a while to set up, so in the middle there was a lot of piling up. So I'm sure that this will unpile, but we've essentially started a production of pretty much everything that we need in the iron department. So I think this has been rather successful. I did play around with the roads, but in such short ranges, I just don't think the roads are necessary. They seem to be creating more issues than solving them. I actually want to do the same for this section because I feel like we're not getting our sulfur's worth of stuff. But on the other hand, because cities might need concrete, I was actually wondering if it's more sensible to find a patch of sulfur somewhere in the middle of nowhere, such as around here, and use that to generate stuff that goes into our general storage, such as the roads and whatever else you might make out of concrete, like the landmark towers, and we leave this sulfur patch as the concrete supply for this town, which I do think might be the smarter thing to do. So let's do something about that. Okay, so we now have but a humble concrete supply for the city, which is fully filled. They need oxygen now, so that's not a problem. And then out here in concretely sulfuric, we have created a new mining operation where all of the sulfur is being turned into concrete and the concrete into the various things we need, including roads, which actually we might add another road one. So in that case, we can just move everything down by a bit, right? Control X. There we go, and clone that one. So now we have 3 road things. Lovely. All right, let's find aluminum. Are you aluminum? Okay, so aluminum is gray. Let's see if there's a nearby aluminum supply. There really isn't. So that's as close as we can get. So this is going to be a pretty lengthy road, which is not ideal, but I think we can work with this. First of all, with that much road, I'm actually going to make another set of production for roads. So we're just going to clone that. So now we have double the road output than we did before. Plus, we don't have to worry about anything else because everything else is also being produced in quite great quantities. Although, yeah, no, I think we're good. Maybe we'll need more trucks. So let's increase the maximum capacity on the amount of trucks we're going to have. All right, it's time to get aluminum-y. First, let's place down the mines. So first thing I'll do is cover the outside so that ensures we have the largest amount of coverage of various mines or extractors without actually obstructing their work. Then we're going to put in the smallest amount of depots that we need to ensure good flow and to make sure that things like this one will be covered. So we're just going to go like this. It's not my favorite as it does obstruct a couple of these here, but it will cover a bunch of others. And then we're just going to check where else we can cover. So I think for now this will probably be more than enough. Plus, I don't want to wait too long to get these depots, so we're gonna put down the mines now. Okay, I had to move something by one because I did in fact make a little mistake, but we're still good. And if we ever care to expand things, we can always go like this and cover that entire section. But for now, I think that's plenty of steel. So next, we want to figure out where we're going to put our little factories. Sorry, I meant aluminum. Logistics wise, I think it makes the most sense to put them in the bottom. I was considering putting it on the side, but that would mean that from here, they would need to be delivered pretty far away. Obviously, we could do it in an L shape. I think that would be the most clever in terms of logistics, but visually, I kind of like them to be in a line. But no, I think I've actually changed my mind and I will, in fact, do the hugging L shape. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. And that should be pretty much an active consumption of all of the aluminum that we are digging. Then we are going to have to make a road. Now, I'm actually going to increase the cap of this because I'm worried that this road is not going to be enough. The amount of road we have now is not going to be enough. I increase it to 1,000. Why not? Hell yeah, let's go. Okay, so we have the ore. Now, here's the thing. I was actually looking into it, and it does make more economic sense to get, or more logistical sense, to get the aluminum ore made into bars before we deliver it down, because unless I looked at it wrong, we need bars in order to make the atmospheric extractors. So we have no need for the ore at all. We just need the bars. So let's get the bars into cars. In order to facilitate swift dispersal, I've done a double layer of these depots over here because I feel like the inner depots are going to be so busy taking stuff out of the factories that it might just be nice to have 2 layers so the second layer can focus on reorganizing stuff to where it's needed most. And then I think it does make the most sense to make multiple truck routes. I don't know though, maybe that's a mistake, but we're going to find out together. And it does seem like the shortest route is straight down, so for a while they might intersect with this, but we can make this a double road if that's a problem. Okay, now we have a pretty lovely flow of materials. We have our aluminum traveling down here via truck, all the way down to here. I made these little reception bays, which I think are pretty cute, and they do manage to unload a huge amount of trucks in a very swift fashion. So basically, I think this is a very nice thing. And over here, we have no problems with getting more of these, and we have 10 atmospheric extractors, which actually I am going to increase the capacity of this to 50 for no reason. It does feel like our iron supply, or our steel supply even, our steel bars, they're just not happening as quickly as I'd like them to. So maybe I would pull one of the truck situations in the way that I might want to put steel factories on this side and then have the steel delivered over. That would maybe facilitate faster flow of all of this mined iron into steel into where it needs to go. Okay, but we're going to focus on the stuff that we actually need to do for this quest. So we need to increase the population, and we're going to need to have oxygen in order to make that. So we're going to do atmospheric extractors, which I think we might be able to just do anywhere. Let's find out. All right, we're producing our first oxygen and delivering it to New Alexandria, which is going to be growing now, which is pretty awesome. And it does seem like these are producing pretty steady rate of it. They're producing 15 per year, and this actually has an annual consumption of 10, so really we only needed the 1. Wait. Okay, well then we can maybe undo some of this. Okay, we did reduce it, but it does seem like the supply demand is going to grow anyway, so maybe the idea was actually quite sound to have a little sort of just orchard of, you know, lovely orchard of oxygen out there. Okay, we'll just put that there just to make sure it's covered. Right, let's go to New Mumbai because I saw that New Mumbai has some pretty close stuff. And we can give them exactly what they need in life. So we're going to go ahead and create a little logistical route for New Mumbai to help our population speed up. All right, New Mumbai's growth is secured. And we should be leveling up soon. Let's take a look at New Yangon. We haven't looked at it at all, but there is some sulfur quite close by. So if we wanted to do that with them as well, we could. But I've changed my mind. Let's just wait until the population spikes. We just need one more pop and then everything's gonna be lovely. Level complete, there we go. We've just invented a stronger concrete. It will help cities to build higher buildings. That's interesting. Stronger concrete, oh, polymers. Reinforced concrete and polymers. That's very fun. Oh, the MK2 depot. Okay, now this has a double hex range, so this opens up a lot of possibilities. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. So this is where we're gonna cut our first impressions video. I really want to keep playing this game, so let me know if you like this game. And we will maybe do a second video. I really want to see more, and I think that a depot that has a double range opens up so many possibilities because you need to stop. You can stop worrying about so many things. Like a lot of these weird turns we've had to make have been because we don't want to miss a little extractor that's in the middle or something. And a double range just offers so many more possibilities, such a stronger logistical network. So I'm definitely interested in finding out what it feels like when you have a double everything. So if you'd like to see more of this game, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to do all of the things that you do when you've enjoyed a video. Also, check out the game. I'm going to put it in the description. I do this with every game, even if it isn't a video where I got a free copy. And I do actually recommend checking this one out. I would not recommend it unless I thought it was actually worth recommending. So please check out the game. It's on Steam. It's in early access right now, but you can also test the demo before buying, which I do recommend. And yeah, that's gonna be it from me. If you did enjoy this video, I can also recommend some of the other content on my channel. As I mentioned at the beginning, we're currently doing Automation Week, which means we are playing 5 different automation games. So if you're interested in checking out any other automation games, some that are more like Factorio, some that are more like Satisfactory, and everything in between, feel free to check out the channel and subscribe and check out the other 5 videos that are coming out this week. We already had one yesterday and there are 3 more coming. And you can also check out my other videos. I do tons of Let's Plays and playthroughs of various city building and management games. And I also do first impressions and reviews of a game at least once a week, and then sometimes we have these special occasions where we do multiples a week as well, multiple first impressions. So check everything out. I play a lot of, as I said, city builders and management games, but also colony sims, the occasional tower defense, and all sorts of stuff finds itself into my channel. So please check it out and support the channel if you can. You can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/lulling, where I stream 5 times a week. And over there, I do almost entirely different content. I do sometimes play stuff like Dwarf Fortress, but also stuff like Crusader Kings, as well as tons of RPGs. And I also have a MMO of choice, which is Guild Wars 2. So there's loads of stuff that's happening over on the Twitch that isn't happening here. So I would invite you to come join. And on Twitch, you can also chat with me live. and support me there as well. Thank you so much for considering it. All right. That's going to be it from me. Hope to see you in the next one. If not, have a lovely rest of your life. And remember, stay solidary. Bye.